I've been seeing it all over my social media, people, you know, eating their version of the triple dipper, and it just looks so good. I thought it was the perfect thing with the big game coming up. We're making Chili's triple dipper at home. This is the perfect appetizer that turns into a meal because it's 3 all in one plate. You have your choice of several appetizers. You pick 3 along with 3 dips, hence the words triple dipper. I'm gonna choose the Nashville Hot Mozzarella Sticks, the Southwestern Egg Rolls with avocado ranch, and the Chipotle Honey Chicken Crispers, because every party needs a chicken finger. I'm gonna start with the Nashville Hot Mozzarella Sticks. You might have seen me make this before on a quick social video, but I'm gonna give you the full rundown. These are just like, you haven't seen mozzarella sticks like this before because they're like wide, you know, they're not just those little dinky little things you get at other places or in the freezer section. These are the real deal, and they give you the most epic cheese pull. Best thing to use for this are one of these like 16-ounce blocks of mozzarella, because you can like cut little planks, and that's what we're trying to do. So this size is perfect, and then you want to kind of make them thick. So about like 1/2 inch thick or so, and you create little planks. And now you just create a simple breading. We're deep frying everything today. The good news is all 3 are going in the deep fryer just like they would at Chili's. So it really is only 1 pot of oil. Okay, so then we're just gonna set up a simple breading station like you do when you fry things. First dish, flour. We're gonna season it with just some salt and pepper. Okay, second dish, eggs and hot sauce. And then breadcrumbs in the third dish. I'm using a combination of the seasoned breadcrumbs for flavor and then just some plain panko breadcrumbs for extra crunch. So it's like 2 parts seasoned to 1 part panko. And I'm gonna mix this together with a little paprika. You know, with all of these, you can do whatever kind of flavor combination you want. So there's buffalo, I'm doing the Nashville Hot with these mozzarella sticks, but you could do that with the chicken tenders, and vice versa. I'm gonna go ahead and get a rimmed baking sheet. This is going to help me after I fry them, so you can use the same one. So as I bread them, I'm gonna set them on here. So you wanna go dry, wet, dry. So I'm going to give them a nice dry surface by coating them in the flour. And then you wanna dust off any extra. And that gives the egg something to stick to. So then into the egg, and then you just toss that till it's well coated, and then into the breadcrumbs. And then I like to just kind of cover it and then press it down. Then you're gonna go back into the egg and then back into the breadcrumbs. I'm gonna create a nice barrier so that the cheese doesn't seep everywhere. And then we just keep going. If I was doing this at home, you can make everything a day or 2 in advance. And then come the day of the party, all you have to do is fry it up. So you don't have any prep to do, just fry and eat. Our friends have this party every year, and it's the Friday before Christmas, and it's called Fry-Yay, and everyone brings something to put in the fryer, and it's just the most fun party. You know what I bring? Uncrustables. That was one of my biggest viral creations. Fried Uncrustable. I never understood these sandwiches until now. So once you have all of these breaded, you're just gonna pop them in the freezer for about 30 minutes, and that's ideally when you would, you know, start heating your oil. You can make these a month before and keep them in the freezer, okay? While the mozzarella freezes, I'm gonna go ahead and make the ranch. The ranch is gonna be our main dipping sauce for today because duh. Chili's is really good about hiding their recipes from the internet. So we're guessing here on a lot of these. That it was hard also finding the exact ingredients they used. But I did my research, and we're just gonna make the best ranch that I think a lot of restaurants use. And it starts with a packet because MSG. I think when you make the packet though, the way to like zhuzh it up the best is to use buttermilk instead of regular milk. That's gonna be key, and then sour cream, and then a little splash of the secret ingredient. So I'm going in with the packet. And then you gotta have mayonnaise, and for me, this is the one. About like 2 parts mayonnaise to 1 part sour cream, and then your buttermilk to get to the consistency you want. Additions, I'm gonna make a little pickle juice, just a splash. It's got dill in it, you know, it makes sense. It's got vinegar, some pepper. That's gonna be good. Keep this in the fridge, and then we'll go get our mozzarella and fry it up. Okay, before you can fry though, you have to have your seasoning blend ready, your Nashville Hot. This always looks a little scary because It's a lot of seasoning, but for some reason, it's like not as hot as you think it's gonna be. It's a good burn, you know, that slow burn. Okay, so it's a lot of paprika, like 3 tablespoons, and a lot of cayenne pepper. Okay, and then just a little garlic powder, and then some brown sugar to balance out the spicy. Some salt, and then a little black pepper, and then that's it. After you fry, you take some of that frying oil and put it in your spices, and it activates all those flavors, and then you toss the mozzarella sticks around in it. So you wanna have this on standby. You want your oil slightly hotter than you really want it to be, because as soon as you put these in there, it's gonna drop the oil temperature. So I'm starting at about 370, and ideally I'll get it down to like 360. So these are like pretty solidly frozen after half hour or so. And all we need to do is get the outside brown and crispy. By the time that happens, that cheese is going to be ooey gooey, so delicious. It only take a couple minutes. So you can already see the cheese starting to peek out. You might ask me if you can air fry these, and the answer is yes, you can. However, I've learned that sometimes in the air fryer, it happens a little slower, so the cheese really comes out of the thing. So you really need to make sure they're frozen if you're gonna air fry them, and make sure you can do it at the highest temperature your air fryer will go. But if you're wanting the Nashville hot flavor, you need the grease. So it's not every day you do this, just a little. All right, now for the magic. You're gonna take that hot grease and add it to our spice mixture, about 1 cup to 1.5 cups. Be careful, this is hot grease. It's gonna be so good. So now we're gonna take our hot mozz and toss it in this liquid gold. You're gonna wanna dunk it in the ranch. You're gonna need something to cool you off. Raw, the best mozzarella sticks that ever existed. And look at the breading and how substantial it is, yet it's like crunchy and light at the same time. My mouth is hot, like it's spicy, but it's not unbearable. And you would think with 3 tablespoons of cayenne pepper that you would not be able to handle that. You can, and this is mine, so I can double dip or triple dip. I added a little more oil just to freshen it up a little bit. That can be heating while we make the next one. This is an oldie but goodie. This is probably what I had maybe the first time I've ever ate at a Chili's, the Southwestern Egg Rolls. So this is your classic Southwestern flavors all wrapped up into a flour tortilla and fried. Really, they're just little mini burritos, okay? So don't come at me when you say that's not an egg roll. You mix everything into a bowl and then wrap it up. So I'm going in with some just cooked chopped chicken. You can use rotisserie, and then Monterey Jack cheese, and then corn and black beans. This is just frozen corn that I've thawed out, and then about half a can of black beans, some pickled jalapenos that have been chopped up. You can customize this too. You can make it whatever fillings you like or however spicy you like it. About 1/4 cup of finely chopped red bell pepper. The good thing you do want to do is finely chop everything, because these are not huge things, and you want a little bit of everything in every bite. And then this is spinach, so just fresh baby spinach that has been chopped up. This is an appetizer that did list exactly what's in their version, and that's what's going in this version. Green onion, some taco seasoning. I'm gonna add in a little salt and then just stir it up. It was just a little bit of everything, but it makes a lot of filling. So this is going to make a lot of little egg rolls. Appetizers and parties aside, this is just a good idea to do as meal prep and keep these in the freezer. You can pop these for sure in the air fryer, just spraying them or brushing them with a little oil and then air frying them. This would be like a great snack for kids. 8-inch tortilla, and then you're gonna spoon in about 1/2 cup of the filling into each one. And then you roll it as you would a burrito or an egg roll. Tuck in the sides and then flip the top over, tucking and rolling as you go. You might find that you might want to do one more small little tuck as you get to the end, and then you're going to seal the seam with a toothpick. Kind of go down and back through like you're sewing. It's just going to keep it closed while it fries. So we get 10 good size egg rolls out of this. You cut them in half as a serving, so you get 20 good substantial bites. Let's fry them up. Of course, they want to roll to one side, so you're going to need to kind of flip them throughout. This is probably the one of the day that will be just as good if you want to air fry it instead of deep fry it. But this is my favorite part. There's something about a crispy tortilla with all the goods inside. We're going to serve these with avocado ranch. For the avocado ranch, we're going to take the ranch that we made for the first one and then just add some avocado and a little lime to it. You want a nice, soft, ripe avocado for this, just so it's extra creamy. Then you want to go till it's really smooth. Okay, so to serve them, a deep bias cut. Oh yeah, that's gonna be delicious. Don't forget to take the toothpick out. They look just like chilies. Part 2 of the triple dipper, the Southwest Egg Rolls with avocado ranch. Have a good job. A++++. You can get a version of these in the freezer section, but don't, because this is about 1 billion times better than that. Well, now I want a margarita. This is their most popular cocktail, and it just sounds so good after those egg rolls. Tequila, orange liqueur. Now that's good. Every party needs a chicken tendy. The honey Chipotle Chicken Crispers. Now this one has been blowing up my feed, and they make it look just so good. So I first have to make the crispiest chicken finger, because they have to be crispy. And the thing about the chicken crispers is that they have these little like bits of crispiness on the outside. But that's what we're going to create, which means we're going to do a little double dredge for our chicken. The element of this appetizer that is really just as good as the chicken is the sauce. So a shortcut here is to find your favorite crispy chicken tender and just make the sauce. But what kind of service would I be giving you if I just didn't go all the way with it, you know? So we're gonna go all the way. Am I right? Yes, Nicole. You're always right. All right, so there's gonna be 2 real keys to making this the best crispy chicken tenders. The first is that we're going to marinate it in buttermilk. That's going to tenderize it, give it great flavor, and that's the first trick to the best chicken. The second is we're gonna double dredge it, meaning we're going to go from wet to dry to wet to dry. Give it a good kind of thick, crumbly kind of coating. All right, so you're gonna cut your chicken into tenders, whatever you feel is gonna be delicious. But this is also gonna be way more cost effective than buying a bag of already breaded chicken tenders. And definitely more cost effective than eating it at the restaurant, because I only buy my chicken when it's on sale anyway. Ain't nobody paying full price for chicken. That's a lot of chicken tenders from 4 chicken breasts, and it was buy one, get one free, so this is why you make it at home. Okay, so you're gonna coat it in buttermilk and then some hot sauce. Remember, you already bought the buttermilk for the ranch, okay? And then in goes the chicken. You wanna make sure it is coated. And everything is super cold right now. The buttermilk is freezing, the chicken is freezing. So this is just gonna hang out on the counter. You don't need to put it back in the fridge. Okay, so while that marinates, we can get our breading ready and our sauce. For the dredge, all you really need is seasoned flour. You can do this however you want. Here's how I do it. Okay, I'm going in with some flour, a couple cups. Season it with onion powder, garlic powder. Then I'm gonna add in some smoked paprika. You could also just do regular paprika. But the chipotle is gonna have a little smokiness, so I thought that would be nice. And then just salt and pepper. And then I'm adding a little baking powder. This is just gonna help with the crispiness a little bit. Whisk it all up. And now for the sauce. The sauce is super simple. I mean, I don't know how they make it, but my version is super simple. Honey chipotle, both of those things have a ton of flavor on their own. The sauce is just like really flavorful. It's mildly spicy, but it has, you know, the bulk of the flavor and all that smoky goodness. The pepper is where the heat is. So you can cut these up with or without the seeds, but they are kind of spicy. So you can take some of this spice out if you want. And then you want to finely chop this. You could also just puree it in a small blender or food processor. Since it's such a small amount, I'm just gonna use my knife. Okay, then I'm going in with the sauce. Now I see all the videos and it looks sticky, you know? It is a sticky sauce. What I noticed in my research is that there's barbecue sauce in some of these. It kind of makes sense. Adds a little salt and vinegar, tomato flair. Let's see how we're doing. So the heat just kind of sneaks up just a little bit, but these are not spicy. More sweet than spicy. I'm gonna add in a little bit of salt. I might have to process this a little bit. The crispers that I've seen don't really have like the bits of, you know, chipotle in there. So if you can just find the adobo sauce, you could also just use that. It's delicious. All right, wet, dry, wet, dry. Shake off the excess, then a dunk back into the wet and back into the dry. As the flour gets moistened a little bit, you'll notice that it starts to have all these little kind of crumbly bits. That's gonna end up on the outside of your chicken, and that's what's gonna give you the extra crispers. All right, 350, fry it up. You don't want your oil to get too hot because we need that chicken to cook all the way through. So you want it to cook on the inside at the same time it cooks on the outside. All those crispy bits, sound check. It's crispy. I mean, look at all those. Perfection. I'm gonna like thickly paint onto the tenders instead of tossing it because I'm scared to break off all that delicate breading. Looks like I nailed it and I haven't even taken a bite. Honey Chipotle Chicken Crispers. I kinda wanna eat it without any dip. Mmm. No pun intended, but that chicken is so tender. And then with the crispy, sticky, sweet, yet a little bit spicy, I'm gonna go for the dunk. I thought the chicken tenders might be the least exciting of the day, but dang, is it my favorite? It's definitely close. Dang, this is good. I give to you the triple dipper. You break this out at your next party and you will be a complete and utter hero. I think we made the best selections too. You've got your Nashville Hot Mozzarella Sticks, the Honey Chipotle Chicken Crispers, and of course the Southwestern Egg Rolls. Got ranch, got a little honey mustard, got the avocado ranch, and a margarita to boot. 3 appetizers, 1 platter. I think the biggest problem is gonna be deciding which one to eat first. Remember, all of these can be made in advance and prepped ahead of time, then you can cook them up right before your guests arrive, or they're also ideal for meal prep, especially these little Southwest egg rolls. So let me know, how do you order your triple dipper? This is like what heaven looks like, honestly. Welcome to Chili's. This is not a commercial.